Hello everybody, it's been a while. As you can see, if you watched my previous cooking videos, I'm not in the same location anymore, which is part of the reason why it's been a while. I moved. Actually, if you've watched any of my previous cooking videos, this is now the third kitchen that I'm cooking in now, and that's part of the reason why there was such a long delay in videos and the holidays and that. But I've got a fun recipe today that I kind of wanted to try out, so I thought I'd whip up another cooking video and see how it goes. This is supposed to be an easy recipe. We'll see if it is. This recipe is straight out of the Elder Scrolls cookbook, and this is Argonian swamp shrimp boiled. So this is what I'm going to try to make today, and I'm going to make it with a little bit of rice as well. So I got my book here. Action Cam is sadly retired, so now I have this old phone that's going to act as Action Cam, and we're going to get to cooking. So first thing first, I'm going to take the gloves off. Sorry, it's going to ruin the illusion. It's just much easier to work, with your hands this way. So I need a pot. Well, maybe I should go over the ingredient list so far. We've got rice, of course. I've got a pound of shrimp, some brown sugar. I'm sure I don't need this much, but the recipe called for a little bit, and they only had a whole bag of it. Same with the molasses. I only need like a tablespoon, but this is the smallest jar they sell. Then we got cornstarch here, and last, some chili powder. You'll have to excuse the interruption. I've got the Nintendo Direct playing over there, so I'm trying to keep an eye on at the same time to see if there's any updates for games. But you can see all the ingredients here: rice, chili powder, pound of shrimp, brown sugar, cornstarch, and here's my molasses. So it's all safely sitting on top of my stove. First things first, I gotta move it off of the stove and start out with a pot and 2 cups of water. And a cup. Need a cup. Cup. Let's try not to spill on the floor. It'd be way easier if I just brought the pot over to the sink, but I'm already doing it this way, so look at that, expert, no spilling at all. And now we wait and we let that boil, and we watch the Nintendo Direct while we wait. Okay, while I wait for this to boil, I'm going to start another pot for my rice. This is just minute rice, so 2 cups of water, 2 cups of rice, easy peasy. But I can get that going while I wait for my other water. This time I brought the pot over to the cup. And I managed this one. So my water is boiling, and I'm supposed to add this whole pound of shrimp to it. Not much water, but that's what the recipe says to do, so that's what I'm going to do. It's a lot of shrimp. Guess I need something to stir it, right? I swear I should use more water, but the recipe says 2 cups of water. So it's supposed to boil for 2 to 3 minutes. So let's turn this flame back up. And we'll let that boil. There we go, we got a nice boil going around the shrimp now. And we have a little bit of a boil going on the back burner there. So let me give this a small stir. I'll take those out in a second. We're supposed to set them aside, and that I can put in a little bit of rice. So I'll do that right now. Get now a shrimp bowl for my shrimp. So let's get my shrimp. And I need 2 cups of rice for just my rice. Okay, so I got my rice in the pot. I'm gonna put a lid on that because cover it. So we're gonna lid that. And now I got my shrimp here. I'm gonna turn it off for a little bit. And I'm supposed to take it out of the pot of water. And I guess I'll do that with this little strainer thing here. Alright, and next, half cup of soy sauce and a tablespoon of cornstarch. Oh, that's the shrimp wrapper. Okay, I forgot an ingredient too, we need soy sauce. Where's the camera on this thing? Oh, nope, that's not it. Alright, there we go. So I need a half cup of soy sauce and then a tablespoon of cornstarch. So I got my half cup here. I'm just gonna grab the whole half cup. That's a lot of soy sauce. Still going. Oh, that took almost my whole bottle of soy sauce. Alright. Well, it's too late to go back now. Let's just not spill any of it. So there's a half cup of soy sauce. So I've got my separated shrimp here, nice and steamy. I got my shrimp water here that I'm going to use later. I got my rice back here to not steam off the camera. And onto the sauce now. So here's my cornstarch. I just need a tablespoon of this. Don't have very much of it either. Do I even have a tablespoon? That's an 1/8 teaspoon. Not quite what I'm looking for. What's this one? 1 teaspoon. Well, what is it? 3 teaspoons equals a tablespoon? So, there's 1. Here's 2. And 3. Almost used up all of my cornstarch too. Now we're whisking it all up all together. Which means I need my little whisk. Oop. So we just whisk this together until the whole thing is mixed up. And I think that looks pretty good, right? I think so. I'll leave my whisk to the side here. Alright, so I gotta add it to boiling my boiling shrimp water. So I'm gonna turn this back on and bring it to a boil, because I'm sure they want the cornstarch to thicken up in the water. Shouldn't take very long to start boiling again though. Or I could be wrong. In the meantime, I'm going to prepare my molasses and brown sugar because I think I need both of those too. I need it's only a tablespoon of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of molasses. Wow. I've got this whole bag of brown sugar for 1 tablespoon. In fact, so this is some old ruined brown sugar. I might just be able to use one of these and not open the whole bag. just don't tell Dracky because I made him go to the store specifically for that bag. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. Is the Nintendo Direct still on? It is. I wonder what I'm missing. I see Earthbound down right now. I'll just have to re-watch it when I'm done with this. So my water's boiling hot. Keep on low. I'm going to add in my cornstarch soy sauce. And now we're going to whisk that together. And that'll hopefully thicken up. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a thick sauce. And while I whisk that, I'm going to take one of these brown sugar chunks and just stick it right in there. Maybe I'll do 2. There we go. And now for the molasses. So I've got my jar right here. Let's see how easy it is to do this one-handed. Okay, so I think I got more or less a tablespoon in there. No wait, there's supposed to be 2 tablespoons, wasn't it? Yeah, it's 2 tablespoons of molasses. It's a teaspoon, right? Yeah, it's a teaspoon, which means I need 6 of these. So there's supposedly 2 tablespoons of molasses in here and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. You know, we're approximating here, so it should be fine, right? Feels like the brown sugar dissolved in there, so that's good. What's next? Okay, so I'm supposed to stir it until it reduces and thickens up. So I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit again. So I need to. It's supposed to thicken up but still be pourable. So this could take a while. So it's been 15 minutes now of non-stop stirring, and it hasn't thickened up almost at all. So this is what I got. It's really thin. It's supposed to be like, I don't know, like this picture looks thick and sticky, and this is not. And plus I can see little clumps of cornstarch in there, which makes me think my cornstarch probably wasn't all the way dissolved when I started this. Problem with that. That was all of the cornstarch I have here, so I'm going to do something that I know my local Asian restaurant does, because I had a friend who works there, and I'm going to add in gelatin. This may or may not be a good idea, but I'm going to try it and see what happens. So, I need in the closet behind you. Excuse me, phone. Okay, you're going to move this way for a second. I'm going to go in here for a second and grab this. This is my unflavored gelatin, and we're gonna see what that does. And you can come back. I think that's where you're standing. If you're wondering why there's a cord plugged into my phone, it's because I didn't want the battery to die. You get all the real behind the scenes here on Cyrus Studios Cooking. Did this thicken up at all? No, just sitting here? No, it did. I've got 1 pack. All I'm going to use. I got 2 left. You're going to see I use gelatin a lot, I guess. I'm going to take my unflavored gelatin here. I'm going to put it in this cup. Just like that. And I want to just get my gelatin like damp. So that's pretty good. I got a little quick here. So I'm going to stir it up a little bit, and that's going to bloom now. So this is blooming your gelatin. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. So, yeah, this isn't getting any thicker. But hopefully after I add in the gelatin, it'll be fine. Hopefully. I'm going to keep that just on a very low setting because I need it to be warm for when I add in the gelatin. Alright, so might as well add the last few ingredients here. We have chili powder because, oh wow, this is really sticky. Supposed to do a half teaspoon, and that looks kind of like a half teaspoon. And my hands are all sticky now from the chili powder. We also need, what is it? 2 tablespoons of cream and a tablespoon of butter. I don't have any cream, so I'm going to go with milk. Of course, I got a whole brand new jug of milk for a tablespoon. Alright, so I've got my 1 tablespoon of butter here. Did the wrapper come all the way off that? Did the wrapper come all the way off that? No, it didn't. No! The wrapper didn't come all the way off that. Okay. Surgery successful. So there's our butter. And a tablespoon of milk. That looked like more than a tablespoon. And in fact, that was probably 2 tablespoons. Was it actually 2 tablespoons of milk? It was 2 tablespoons of cream, so we're safe. Here's our new mixture. This has our milk, our butter, and our seasonings in it. So as soon as this butter melts down, I'm going to add in my gelatin that's over there. Alright, like I can feel that it's like slightly thick. Like some of the cornstarch dissolved and worked. It's not enough. Alright, so now I got my gelatin here. We're going to add in this gelatin. It's going to just like slide out. Nope. I need to help it out a little bit. There, so the gelatin in there is nice and gelatiny. So we're going to just plop that in. Is that everything? Basically. Alright, and now that can just dissolve in the heat. So we're going off the books here. I think it's going to work though. I never was a fan of using cornstarch to thicken things, and I guess it really has to be boiling. Did that gelatin dissolve already? Yeah. Alright, and now I'm going to wait once more. And as this cools, it's going to thicken, and then I'll pour it on top of my shrimp, and we'll have a meal.
Am I interrupting?
No, maybe. I mean, not really. I'm just waiting.
And all neighbors see that you're a raptor.
What's the only... Oh, well... I didn't think about that window, actually. I mean, like, the food's basically done, except just the sauce is not done.
What's wrong with it?
I'm not thinking about
Add flour.
flour. Yeah.
Flour thickens sauces, that's what I eat.
It's supposed to be so much thicker. It's supposed to be like...
You can always boil off the water.
Yeah, maybe I should just boil it a lot. I boiled it for like 20 minutes already.
The water doesn't boil off that fast.
So I just like let it sit.
You could, but
Let it sit. I just don't want it to burn.
then you have to keep stirring it for that time.
Fantastic stirring action.
You can add funny music to it
Okay,
and speed it up. This is Mr. Bean. This is what Mr. Bean does.
Yeah. I've been here for an hour and a half so far. And this is like such a simple dish. Alright, so after, I don't know, 30 minutes of stirring now, this is what we have with the sauce. I see. It's still not quite as thick as I'm thinking it should be. On the picture it looks very thick, and here it doesn't. And I could sit here and reduce it for a lot longer, but I really just don't feel like it. Drek came by and suggested adding some flour. So I added some flour, so now it's got cornstarch, flour, and gelatin inside. Yet it's still pretty liquidy, so I don't know how to make anything thick, I guess. And I'm giving up. So we're gonna mix this in the shrimp and the rice, and we're gonna make a meal. All right. I see you. I see you. So while I was stirring, I also detailed the shrimp because that's easier to eat that way. And we're gonna do the dangerous task now of mixing this in with this. It doesn't look too bad. Although, I'm sure it's supposed to be a lot thicker and less watery here, which is probably why it's a good thing I have rice, which isn't part of the recipe, but we'll add it in. I'm going to make a plate here. Take rice. And there you have it. This is a plate of Argonian swamp shrimp and an addition of rice. Doesn't look too bad, but now the question is, how does it taste? Take a bite. Take a bite. Tell me if it's terrible and worth an hour and a half of time. Good, bad, mediocre.
It doesn't taste like anything special, so I don't know if it's worth 1 hour of work. It's kind of salty.
Well,
a little sour too.
Give it a rating out of 10.
5 out of
5 out of 10?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's subtract rating.
Alright, 5 out of 10. You heard it here. That's my Raptor dish. Maybe next time I'll make something better. Actually, next time, there's this to try out as well. The sweet roll. Maybe that'll be next time. We'll see. If I feel ambitious. Otherwise, something simple again. Okay, that's it. Bye. Here's a next day update for you. So, this is my leftover shrimp. As you can see, it's been in the fridge for, overnight. I made a lot of shrimp. And it's pretty thick now. I just mixed the whole entire thing together. So I don't really know how thick the sauce would have been if it sat overnight. I'm sure the, rice thickened it up quite a bit. But, I mean, it's a decent meal. Drac gave it a 5 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So, and you can kind of see it. It thickened up a little bit in the fridge with the gelatin, I'm sure. So, the sauce probably would have thickened up quite a bit if I just left it and let it cool and maybe even put it in the fridge, but it's supposed to be a hot dish. So, while it never quite got as thick as it looked in the book, I'm sure I did something wrong, but the day after, decently thick. I give it a 7 out of 10. It could just use something else. Like, I add hot sauce to it when I eat it now, but maybe you could use like some green pepper or onion or something else in there. I don't know. It needs a little green. But anyway, that's the quick update from future Silas. If I said that was the end of the video, I lied. I'll be tacking on this little end card just to let you know that I'm consistently working on new projects. Mostly programming and games, but I'll be trying to be a little bit more open and transparent about what's going on by making more videos like this. And if you'd like to support my games or my work, please feel free to check out my Patreon or come chat with me on Telegram or Discord and give me your thoughts. I have a lot of neat projects and pieces of work that I really just have no clue how to showcase, so feel free to stop by and say hi. Thank you. Goodbye.